I should know you by the ever-present green light.
So, good afternoon or good morning, I think, Mike. Hello from Canterbury. I am Yolanda Sabater, and he's Jordi Tarrega from Barcelona. We are writing both for Stairway to Rock in Spain.
I love it.
Yes. First of all, let me thank you for having this time with us. We think that you are one of the great voices in the blues and rock, and we are really fan of everything that you have done. So thank you very much for taking some time to talking with us.
It's my pleasure. I need to change glasses because these glasses I got have a thing in them, and these
Perfect.
are the first ones
cool.
I can grab. Okay.
Okay, so the reason of the interview is that you are going to be returning to Spain this October to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Magnolia, an album that in many ways changed everything for you and for the band. Do you agree?
Say it again. Is what to the band?
I mean, the 30th anniversary of Magnolia that you are going to be presenting in Spain. So it's an album that changed everything for you and the band. Do you agree?
Will it change everything for me and the band?
Yes.
In what way?
In way that getting famous, the album that shift everything to the higher level in your career.
Oh, you mean the tour coming up?
Yes.
I think it's really good for the fans for us to be doing these things, and it's also good for us in a certain way. And I don't know. I never think about really like what it would do to change things. I'm not sure what it would be, but I mean, it's just really good to celebrate and go back and revisit these songs that that I wrote 31 years ago, and it's really special that these songs, when you create something that people latch on to and they become something that they bond with, that's really what music is all about. So when it all comes down to it, that's what we're celebrating. We're celebrating what the connection between these songs and other people. So yeah.
In Magnolia, there are absolute gems, songs like Hello from Venus, Magnolia, Gypsy Lullaby, maybe the biggest hits of the Cheetah Wheelies.
Maybe the what?
The biggest hits of.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It Magnolia is definitely the most cherished record that we put out for sure. Gypsy Lullaby was actually the first song I ever wrote, and it didn't make it on the first record because I guess it just didn't fit that record for whatever reason. I know at the time the band I don't think they really got that song. They didn't get the vibe of that song at first, so it didn't end up on the first record. And then by the second record, I started to force my will on everybody else, so they didn't have any choice.
Just a question that has opened to my mind now. Do you have the numbers of the record sellings of this album nowadays? I mean, do you still get these numbers?
I really don't have a clue. I never knew. I don't know. I don't know what they sold. I don't know what the current sales are. I don't know. I don't even know if Magnolia sold as many copies as the first record. Yeah.
I was expecting a lot of them.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure. It's funny because thinking back on that those times, and we've been, there's been discussions of, whenever you do things like this, you go back and people ask questions, doing interviews, and they're asking about this and that. And then you realize, by going revisiting those times, is that one of the things for me, and I think for everybody in the band for sure, is that, I was just a kid.
Yeah.
I was 23 years old when I wrote the first record, 22 years old, 21, 22 years old when I wrote, and then the second record, Magnolia, I was like 24 years old when I wrote those songs. With the exception of Gypsy, which like I said, I wrote that that's the first song I wrote. But as we were traveling, I never knew like what we were making per night at the shows. I never knew how many people were there. I never knew, if I needed money, I just reach out to my accountant and say, hey, put some money in my bank account or whatever. I didn't know how to write a check even, and so, when people ask these things, it's like, I was oblivious to record sales or anything. All I wanted to do, I was happy. I had a tour bus. I got to play music every single night, and I got to make music for a living. And I found myself to be very fortunate in that way.
Hmm.
And so it was, I was really living in the moment at that time. So I never ever looked up and even considered what sales were or any of that stuff was. It was really crazy.
Okay, it seems that Spain is a good market for Mike Farris. Spain loves Mike. How do you remember your last tour in Spain, playing only you with acoustic guitar?
Yeah. That's how it all started over there, was me coming over and doing an acoustic show. And I think I may have done like 5 shows at that time. And then a couple of years ago, I had a night off, and this group of people out of San Sebastian had a private music club, and they wanted to hire me to come in and perform. And I was in Europe anyway. I was in the Netherlands, and so I had the good fortune of being able to leave the Netherlands and go into San Sebastian for a couple of days with some friends of mine, and the place was packed. It was oversold. It was a fire hazard. There were so many people in there, and I was just me and a guitar, and we were singing these songs, and everybody was singing along with me, and it became this real joyous thing where people were laughing, people were crying, and all these things, and they were drinking too, and so out of that, my friend Aneko Guru Chaga, who's responsible for bringing all this together in the first place to Spain, he came out of it going, we got to do an acoustic tour again. And so that was really the nexus of how that started. And anytime I can do acoustic shows, I'm all about that. I think I think it works well for me. I love doing the acoustic shows.
What I love also is, and I want to ask you, who chooses the cities where you are gonna play? Because they are not the most famous, no? Barcelona, Madrid. Are you playing in Santiago de Compostela, which is really nice? I lived there 6 years, and hopefully you can walk a bit in the streets. It's amazing. But also Gijón, Girona. It was this an echo, or did you find them?
Well, it was the guys who were. It's. I have a team of people, and Neko's one of the guys, and we had already booked the shows, the primary cities, right? Barcelona, Girona is right outside of Barcelona, but Madrid, Bilbao, Barcelona. Those are the main ones always, but but it's always important for me. I haven't been to Santiago de Compostela in a few years, and every time I come there, there's always some Galicians in the crowd going, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
back to Santiago de Compostela," and we being my family, my wife and our son, we love Galicia, and so and Santiago de Compostela is one of our favorite cities. It's a favorite food city. It's a great vibe. The people there are great, and so I was like, hey, we have to have this. We have to go back to Galicia this time. And so I owe it to everybody. I've already promised all these people that I would be back over there.
Nice. Yeah.
So that's how we ended up back over there.
Be careful, because next step is to buy a house there.
Oh God, it's funny because everybody in America, they want to go to, they want to go to Paris, they want to go to London, they want to go to Italy, and I'm telling them, well, I take that back. I usually don't tell them because I don't want everybody.
Yes, don't share that.
Exactly, and but what they don't know is you've got this country in Spain that is so diverse in cultures and food and beauty that it's hard to even explain. I mean, you could spend the next 20 years going to Spain and you'd still have many things to discover, from Basque Country to Galicia to Asturias to Barcelona and uh, all the cities outside of Barcelona and down the Mediterranean coast. It's just, there's so much to explore. The food is so incredible. To me, I mean, the thing about coming to Spain too is that when my family and I come, our blood pressure drops. The pace in these cities are much slower than they are here in America, and it's such a huge breath of fresh air. And so, yeah, I don't know if I forgot what the answer. I forgot what the question.
You answered perfectly. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about another place of Spain, Euskadi, Esquina Rock Festival. I discovered you in 2004 in Esquina Rock Festival, and wow, it was amazing. So, how important is for you Esquina Rock?
I was talking about this the other day and to somebody, and uh, Esquina may be one of the best rock festivals in all of Europe. I don't know. Um, um, it certainly has a great reputation. Um, we we came over. Aneko came to New York and talked to my manager personally and talked us into coming over. And that's where everything began. We became a bit of a cult favorite, and so we owe a great debt of gratitude to Esquina Rock Festival. And I've been back a few times with my solo career as well, and it's always been special. And they've always embraced me, my solo stuff, the wheelies. And we haven't been back in a while, and it's not Esquina's fault. It's not our fault. We just haven't gotten around to it. But who knows?
Okay. A tough question. Do you have good memories from your years in Screamin Cheetah Wheelies?
Yeah. I mean, for many years they weren't good memories because I was a mess personally, um, and and the band, the band, the band. Uh, if I'm honest, I think they weren't pulling their weight in that group as much as they should have.
Hmm.
And I was, after the first record, I was carrying everything and maintaining drug addiction, so there was a lot going on that, and things that I didn't realize at the time even, and and then when I look back on it, for a long time, I had a lot of resentment toward those guys. I think I didn't realize it at the time. And then also, um, just the weight of having to carry everything in that situation, it just wore me down. And and then of course we had our first baby. Julie and I did, our only baby, and 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 it was just time to go. There was no way I could stay, and so there's been mixed emotions about it. For a long time, I didn't, you know, I hated everything about it. But now, in the last few years, I'm looking back on it, and it's like, especially this year, for some reason, I look back on it with a new appreciation because, I started going, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
These are all your songs that you wrote. Why would you should be proud of these songs, and it's part of my story, you know. Um, it's funny. It's like people people think these songs were born in a rehearsal hall, but it was me sitting at home writing all the songs, and 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 dealing with a serious drug addiction as well, and so I can look back on it now and appreciate what I did at such a young age with what the tools that I had to work with, and I look back on it now, present, with a great deal of pride. I look at, I was just a kid
Yeah.
doing all these things, and so I'm really, really, really proud of them, all the songs now.
My last time at Mike Farris concert was in Kalela Rock. I don't know if you remember, but you play with Mike Farris and the Fortunate Few. Do you
Yeah.
remember?
Yes. Yeah. That was outside of Barcelona, correct?
Hmm.
Near Barcelona, in Kalela. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. It's just up the coast, right? From Barcelona. Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Uh, I'll tell you a funny story about that. So we walk in, and these guys don't know my story with the Spaniards, my guys in my band, and so we pull in, and we get out of the van, and everybody's like, there's like a couple hundred people applauding us, getting in, and we have to walk through the crowd, and my band's going, wow, this is pretty impressive. I was like, God. And so we get backstage, and there's like a late 80s, early 90s rock band playing, and they're really good, and they're killing it, and the crowd's going crazy, but it's so different from what I do. I started getting really nervous. I was like, oh my God, we may be in the wrong place. And um, and so and the backstage was right up against the back of the stage, literally, and it was so loud. And so I had this thought. I said, hey man, you got to, as soon as these guys are done, you got to go in and throw some Stax soul music, some Memphis soul music on the system, because we got to change the environment, man.
Yeah, the mood.
Yeah, it was really rocking. And so they did that. I said, you got to do this. And so they did it. And then that went on for about 15 minutes. And then they flipped it back to rock music. And I was like, we're going to die and they're going to kill us. And then we walked down on stage, man, and they were the whole place was all for us. And it was really great. And they were singing all the songs and it was fantastic. But that goes to credit the Spanish, the Spaniards, their broad spectrum of music that they appreciate. And yeah, I was really blown away that night. How everybody was like, okay, we're rocking now. Now we're gonna go down this soulful rock thing, and it was really cool.
By the
I'm
way,
curious about the band.
no, I got it. It's Electric Boys. They play before you.
Yes, yeah, and they were great.
Yeah. I reviewed the concert, and after Mike Farris, I think played the Bell Rays.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. Electric Boys. Okay. Okay, so you now started the tour with Screamin Cheetah Wheelies again. So you join again after 30 years. You think that it's the moment that we could expect maybe new music, new album in the future?
I can't say no, but
I like it.
yeah, but it's something that I don't know. I'm a long way away from those guys now, and the other thing is that they all have they've had regular jobs now for 20 years. So
Yeah.
there's, they have 401ks, they have insurance, they have all these things they've built up for retirement. And, they can't really go out and tour, you know what I mean? So, we could do an album, but we wouldn't be able to do, a tour or nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And getting them together to put the songs together to record. I don't know. And we'd have to have a budget and all that. There's a lot of variables there that's in between that. So, and I've got a lot of things that I want to do too personally. So, so I don't know, but I won't say no. I won't say no. We did a new single in 2023. I think it was a song called "Let the Child Ride," and that's on my streaming platform now. But well, you never know.
Okay, let me show you something and ask how important is for you Popular One magazine in Spain. Here is Paris.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Is that for this year? Is that for this tour?
no, which year?
No, it's 1 year ago by
Yeah, your last album. Yeah.
about your it's we work in Popular One, Yolanda and me work in Popular One, and it's a magazine that loves Mike Farris. He's well, every time you come here there is an interview.
Yeah. Are you talking about Sergio?
Here, no, it's Fernando Tanchencias.
Oh yeah. Popular One's been really good to us, man. To me, over the years, and all the publications over there. It's really great. And do you guys still do like physical magazines?
Yeah.
Not so in Spain, but Popular One is one of the magazines that survives. That nowadays is really difficult.
I love it. It.
We love it too.
Yes, I think so. Okay, we didn't have interview a lot of artists that have won a Grammy, but you are one of them. Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
About the Grammy?
Yeah.
I feel pretty damn good about it.
Yeah. Do you sleep with it?
What's that?
I mean, did you sleep with the prize? With the. It's a joke.
Yeah, well.
It's right next to me right now.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
It's very cool. It's I'll show it to you.
Yes,
It's
thank you.
it's this is I've got a few these this we have a a trophy case, and
Wow.
there she is. How cool is
Th-
that?
That would be the portrait of the interview.
Yes.
It's we brought it home, and uh we were taking it around to show it to our friends and stuff, and people in town, restaurants we eat at and stuff like that, and letting people see it and take photos of it, people who would normally never get to see a Grammy. And we came home and realized that it's these things are 24 karat gold. They're actual gold. And we didn't realize that. Like, okay, this thing is staying home from now on.
Yes, just in case.
Yeah.
Talking about awards, I have read that you sang Hash from Deep Purple in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame celebration, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. I did. It's not. It wasn't the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, although I've sang at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But I sang at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to honor Aretha Franklin just a few years before she passed away,
Wow.
and that's a that's a tough thing to do, to sing one of Aretha Franklin's songs while she's sitting in the front row looking at you. But for doing the Hush tune, I did that at the Musicians Hall of Fame, which is Nashville. And if you're ever in Nashville, come to the Musicians Hall of Fame because it's incredible. And yeah, and every year for past several years, they've invited me to come to perform at all the celebrations when they're honoring different different musicians and artists. So yeah, that year I got to open the show with Paul Schaefer doing Hush, which is pretty cool for a small town kid, you know.
Okay, I want to ask you also. There is a song, "Right Place, Wrong Time," that appeared in Malcolm in the Middle, and at that time, the Malcolm was a thing. So, how important was this for the band?
I mean, it was cool. Um, it wasn't as big. It was a new thing, you know. Back then, you know, it was like all of a sudden you know, it was a big thing to get your songs in movies and TV shows and stuff like that. The biggest, most important thing that we got at that time on TV was we had a song called "Groove Me" that was in The Sopranos.
Ah,
Yeah, and so
we miss this. We miss
yeah,
this song. Yeah, we miss this. Mm.
yeah, and and it was off the record Big Wheel. And the thing about that is that David, the guy the creator for The Sopranos, when they started putting songs in Sopranos, he was the first person to ever do that. Um, and and on top of that, he was hand picking every song that was going into that show. It was the biggest show in the world at that time, or at least here. And to get a song on that show, it was such an exclusive club to get a song on there. And for us to get a song on there, it was amazing. That was huge. And I think it was the last episode of the whole thing. And but yeah, that was really, really, really big.
Okay, why did you choose the name of Screamin Cheetah Wheelies for a band?
Well, first off, it's by far the worst rock and roll name that's ever found. Um, and two, the name doesn't fit who we are
Yes.
at all. Uh, but again, I was in a band with a bunch of knuckleheads, and it's just the the other names were so bad that
Worse.
Yes,
what's that?
wow. Imagine how it should be the other names.
You want to hear some of the other names?
Of course.
One of them was Big Fucking Belt Buckle.
Okay.
Another one was the Sizzle Donkeys.
I mean, Screaming Cheetah Wheelies is quite funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got another names.
right. It is a funny thing, but it's hard to pronounce. People never get the pronunciation right. It's hard. Either you love it or you hate it. And most people, anybody in the marketing world would tell you, do not use that name. And it didn't fit the music. It never fit what we do. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Now we're stuck with it. There's no changing it now.
Yeah. Okay, I need to ask you about the addictions with drugs and alcohol. You decide in 2002 to stop with that. But if you feel this can be, I mean, these memories can come again now that you tour again with the Screaming Cheetah Wheelies. This is one of the questions. And the other one is, if you think that the rock is the perfect environment to make these additions especially difficult to escape.
So when back then, I was a kid. I was a broken young man, and who had been a broken young man at young boy at the and so there's you always have to go back to the cause of because nobody wakes up, nobody grows up going, you know what, I want to be a professional drug addict.
Yeah.
Nobody ever dreams of that. You become that through self-medication for your pain or whatever your trauma is you're going through, right? So that's what I was dealing with all those years, but I never had any. Nobody ever came to me and said, "Hey, there's programs you can do, you can be a part of to help, this or whatever." It was only me and my wife who were dealing with this together, and we were both trying to figure it out on our own. And then, and I didn't want to get back into music. I quit in 2005, and I was determined not to. I was scared to get back in music because it was a dangerous place for people like me.
Yeah.
And so, when I got back into music, I'll say this: when I quit smoking, I was smoking, pack and a half cigarettes a day, sometimes 2 packs a day. When I quit smoking, I lost when I quit. I finally quit tobacco in 2020. I was doing nicotine gum and whatever. And then when I finally quit that, I was cured of nicotine for good. I can smell a cigarette now, and I smell it and I don't crave. There's nothing in me that wants to smoke another cigarette. And it's the same thing with drugs. There's nothing in me that craves doing dope. it's just gone. It's just wiped off of my out of my system. So, the other thing is that, I know a lot more about myself than I did then.
Yeah.
And so, when you're young and you're broken, it's going to be a very dangerous situation. Um, I'm now settled, and there's absolutely nothing that can take me back to that. I love my life. I love being where I am. I love being sober, and that's I just couldn't imagine. Uh, you know, something. It'd have to be something way, way stronger than just going back
Yeah.
and. But the thing is that I love going back and playing these songs uh, with a clear head and performing them. Because of that, I think that these things are better than they've ever been. It's been incredible to play these things again. So, yeah.
Finishing the interview, we've got the three classical questions. The first one is, do you remember which is the first album you bought, but with your own money?
I don't remember the first album. Um, the first record I bought was a 45, and I think I was in like third grade, and my mom gave me like 50 cents or $1, something. And I went next door from the grocery store. There was a place that had records in there, and uh, I bought two Fats Domino's records. I bought Walking to New Orleans and Ain't That a Shame, and the other one was I Want to Walk You Home and Bo Weevil. Those are the first two records I ever bought. I know you would think it'd be Aerosmith, Get Wings, or
Yeah,
something.
which I don't know the band Ex Dominos. No,
There-
What's that?
which band? Sorry, did you mention? No, I don't know them. I think.
It was Fats Domino.
That's Domino. Sí,
Ah,
Yeah,
Guzmán.
he was a rhythm and blues guy from New Orleans back in the 50s.
perfect. I will look for it. Second question, classical question. Do you remember the first time that you cried in a concert?
Oh boy. Um. Oh, that's a hard one. Who would have made me cry? Oh man, that's hard. That's tough. Because I was seeing people like ZZ Top and Kiss and Skinner and
ZZ Top were playing in Barcelona Sunday. Yeah.
yeah. Oh wow, that's ZZ Top is over there right now, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. Um, Golly, you know, I actually cried when Aretha Franklin sang a song for you at the end of the show that we did. It was very touching, and she was in the twilight of her days. You know what I mean? She
Hmm.
only had 4 years to live, and there she was singing a song for you, which was beautiful, and that got me teared up for sure.
Okay, and the last one, what if Mike Farris has got an amazing invest of money, a lot of money, but only for a one show? Which stage tricks would you love to do? Lasers, fires, maybe a cathedral?
Uh, it would definitely be fire involved. There would be. It would be. I would have to consult with the guys from Rammstein, because those guys know how to put on a stage show, and that's where I would go. I'd go straight to their guys and go, just here's the money, do whatever you want to do, and that's what we would do. just whatever you're doing with Rammstein, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we finished. Just you can record saying to us, "Hi all, I'm Mike Farris. So check out my interview for Stairway to Rock, or I will be in Spain. We will be in Spain soon, or whatever you want."
Cheetah Wheelies.
You ready? Hey everybody, Mike Farris here, and you are listening to Stairway to Rock. Be sure and check me and my band, the Screamin Cheetah Wheelies, coming to you across the great country of Spain in October. Can't wait to see you.
Wow, super. Thank you very much, Mike.
I will be in Girona, so I will see you in Girona.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you guys so much.
Have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye.
You